years in a prison camp in Vietnam. Tell me about that.
Well, I was shot down over Hanoi by a surface-to-air missile. I parachuted into a lake near the center of the city, so the escape part of it is a very brief part of our narrative. I was beaten rather badly, thrown into a truck, and taken to the now rather well-known prison that we called the Hanoi Hilton. I remained there for 5.5 years. Among other things that happened to me there is I was offered the opportunity to go home because my father was a high-ranking admiral, and I did not take that offer because it was against our code of conduct. Wow. I was beaten rather badly, or mistreated rather badly on several occasions, and one time I failed. If there is a recipe for success in an environment like that, you have to have three things. One, to love your country, and that's obvious. Another is to love your fellow prisoners, because they're always trying to turn us against each other. And third is a faith in God.
Right.
There were many times when I didn't ask to last one more day or one more hour, that I asked to last for one more minute. And that's why I am here today. I'd like to tell you one brief story, if I might, about being in prison. One of the things that the Vietnamese wanted from American prisoners was anti-war statements and war crimes confessions, etc. And if you didn't, they tried to get it out of you in various ways.
Torture?
Yeah.
Psychological and physical?
Yeah, one of the ways that one of their standard practices was to tie ropes very tightly around your biceps and pull your arms back as far as they'll go, and loop the rope around your head and pull your head down between your knees and just leave you in that position for long periods of time. One night I was in an interrogation room in that position because I had refused to cooperate, and a guard came into my cell. He was a guard that I had seen around the camp but never had anything to do with, and he went like that and loosened the ropes that were around me. And then about 5 hours later, which was the end of his watch, he came back and tightened them up, never said a word. Obviously didn't speak English. The following Christmas, which was about 2 months later, the Vietnamese, we were kept in, at that time I was in solitary confinement. The Vietnamese, because it was Christmas Day, allowed us to stand outside of our room for a few minutes, always so that we didn't see each other, one person out, then take back. Anyway, it came my turn, and I was standing out there in the courtyard, which has dirt on the ground, and I saw this guard come over, had a gun on his shoulder, and he stood there next to me for a minute, and he drew with his sandal a cross on the ground.
Wow. And
he stood there, and he looked at me, and for a brief moment, neither one of us were in Hanoi. We were just two Christians celebrating the birth of Christ together.
Oh, my goodness.
Then he rubbed it out with his sandal and walked away. You know, he's the one that I really wanted to see again someday.
Yeah.
And
gave you hope, I would imagine.
Hope and faith and uplifting that we had that kind of love in a situation like that.
Interesting, great story.